Ali. This is our second time here, and we're really excited. We brought you new tools and techniques, and this one has to do with networking. One of the reasons that I love networking, before we get into the presentation, is because my entire career started in networking, which is important. You know, I developed these techniques because there's a major need for them, especially for people that are not really comfortable and they really don't know how to interact with other people and build relationships. So these 10 techniques, I've chosen 10, so because of the time that we have, but these are the top 10 techniques that you can actually use, and in fact, not only for your business, for the rest of your life. So you won't feel awkward when you go to a place. And there's so many opportunities in so many places that we go to, however, we really don't know how to do it. So with these tools, I'm sure that I'm able to answer most of everyone's questions. So if you're able to restrain yourself from asking any questions to the end, please do write down all the questions, because at the end, I will do my best to answer every single question with the best, not only answer, but me maybe even applying tools to them. So that way, whatever I didn't cover, I will be able to cover at the end. I'm really excited. Love working with Miles, and hopefully maybe I'll be back a third time. Well, you guys, everyone's ready? Are we ready? Can I move forward? All right. I guess he said I'd have the floor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here we go.
You can proceed.
Well, let's start. The first part is house rules. This is really important. I want everyone to take notes. 80% retention span comes from an action. So the more notes you take, the more you will retain the information. So that's crucial. Sometimes you may not learn anything new, but I truly believe that confirmation is better than learning something new. Wouldn't you agree? So make sure to take down your notes and attend this presentation with an open mind and an open heart. Because that's usually the way we learn, is when you just have no expectations and everything turns out great. Now, make it happen. That's what I'm known for. That's what I truly believe. Nothing will happen in your life unless you take immediate action. So at the end of this presentation, what I want you to do is to start networking. So go out there and make it happen. So you guys ready? Well, let's go to the next step. Well, let's start with who am I? My name is Bert Oliva. I've been doing professional seminars for over 21 years now around the globe. I'm also known as a human behavior expert, where we work with not only your conscious but your subconscious mind so you can optimize it to have the best quality of life you've always wanted. In fact, our company, Boa World, does employee development programs. We do performance consulting and coaching and sales training for today's business. So that's overall basically on who I am and what Boa World does. Networking. Networking is an art. It's crucial. It's important. A lot of people overlook it. In fact, when I first started my business many years ago, the way I started was through networking. It will build your business. You'll actually build new friendships, long-lasting friendships. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 tools out of many tools, but these top 10 tools will get you in the space that you need to be in order to expand your network. And you know what they say, your net worth is in direct proportion of your network. One more thing I forgot to mention about networking. Some of you are already doing it, and you may be doing it great, and congratulations to you. However, some people are a little more timid and a little more afraid of meeting new people or getting into that space. With these tools today, I'm going to make that really simple and comfortable for some of you that are not doing it to be able to do it. And also for those in your organization that are not doing it, these tools will help them expand their network group. Be informed. Perfect practice makes perfect. One of the biggest things in order to be successful in networking is to really know your product and or service. The more comfortable you are, the more you know about your product and service, the more you'll be able to give that out to people when you speak to them. One of the biggest things I've seen throughout the years is when you talk to someone and say, well, what is it that you actually do? And they're not sure. Or they tell you 4 or 5 things and they overwhelmed you. So you should have pre-qualifying questions. The more prepared you are, the least time you're going to waste. keep that in mind. Time is extremely valuable. Now, competition. This is something that you definitely need your due diligence in. You need to go ahead and study as much as you can about all the competitors that are in your business. This way you know what it is they offer versus what it is that you. Dress for success. People will judge you, so look your best. See, you'd rather be overdressed than underdressed. So make sure that you're comfortable with your attire. Some of these networks will last as long as 4 to 6 hours, especially if it's an expo. With that in mind, that is 4 to 6 hours of walking, standing, and moving around the room. Now, this is when shoes become really important. Make sure that you wear comfortable shoes. So that way, if you're comfortable, your body, the way you approach people, even your face will show that you're comfortable. Make sure you dress for the occasion. Usually what you do is you either go online and look at the event or call the person that's actually hosting the event. So that way you can dress accordingly to what the event's going to be like. Think about it. If it's an outdoor event or an indoor event, would you dress different? Of course you would. So that's really important. One more thing to bring to your attention is smell. This is very important. Make sure that you don't wear too much cologne or perfume or aftershave. And let's not forget, do not forget your business cards. You can't go to war without bullets. Well, your business card is your bullet. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone ask for a business card and they don't have one? I don't have one handy. Well, before you go to a network, make sure that you load yourself up with business cards. So that way, when someone asks you, what is it that you do, you can hand them a business card. Name tag placement. Place the name with the face. This one is really short, but yet extremely powerful. This is something that we all overlook at times. When you receive a name tag and it's given to you, make sure to place it on your right side. That way, when you extend your arm to shake someone's hand, your tag will be in direct line of sight, and it becomes easier for people to be able to remember your name that way. Now that we're discussing name tags, one of my recommendations is to create your own. Create a custom name tag, maybe even with your logo. Something that says, hello, my name is, or something a little flashier than the average person, or something that just stands out. Like for me, I really don't like wearing name tags because sometimes they give you the sticky ones and they kind of ruin your attire. Or then you have to poke your lapel in order to put it on, and I don't like doing that. So now you're able to actually order some that are magnetized in the back so it doesn't ruin your outfit, and also that you can customize. So people now get to recognize you not only because of who you are, but also because of your name tag. Something to think about. Comfort zone. Create your zone. One way of doing this is to make sure you arrive early. By arriving early, you're going to meet the right people. There's going to be a chance that you're going to meet the host, the person that actually is doing the event. Maybe you would like to volunteer. Can I help? 9 out of 10 times they'll tell you, no, it's okay. However, that person already knows you. And we will talk more about that soon in the upcoming slides. Also, by arriving early, you get to familiarize yourself with your surrounding areas. You get to see where the foods, the drinks, and the restrooms are. You get to know a little bit more about everything to the point that now you're a little more comfortable than when you first got there. By doing this, you do what I call create your own zone. The next thing you do is probably take before you go to an event, but for whatever reason, if you're not able to, you make sure that you get a little bit of food, not enough to stop you from networking, and get yourself away from where everyone is, and just make it a snack, and then that way you can get right into networking as soon as possible. Remember, you're not there to have a meal. You're there to connect. Positive people get positive results. Walk your talk. What do I mean by that? Don't just say you're positive. Become positive. Own your space. So when you walk in a room You're not just walking in. You are arriving, and people will notice. Always keep a smile at all times. Make sure that you're very optimistic, and never let them see you sweat. It means that you're showing to them that you're nervous. However, there's a thin line between being confident and arrogant. As long as you stay on top of your confident line, that you're confident about your product, you know what it is you're there for, and you're there to build relationships, strong relationships, you shouldn't have an issue. Keep in mind, people, for the most part, want to be associated with some successful people. The people that are on top of their game. They're on top of the world. And you are that person. You need to be in that same space in order to be able to attract those people into your life. The warm-up. Keep your eyes close by. Find those people that you know and recognize from other events or from a party. That's a great way to get started. People will help you meet other people. Next thing you know, you're around the room and you've met several people. Another great technique is to have eye contact. That's right. It's a little aggressive in certain points, but remember, you're here for the same reason. Get the eye contact. Once this has been done, I want you to extend your right arm and watch how they will extend theirs. And they'll actually connect with you. You're just taking action. Know your main objective. Is this networking or socializing? So what are your real objectives? Let's look at this. Are you there to get new leads in order to be able to sell them the product or show them what it is that you do? Or are you there to build relationships? Maybe you have a different mindset. You know, if you team up with a certain organization, then it could be a win-win type of situation. Or are you just there to establish presence so they even know that you actually exist, that your company exists? Times have changed, and a lot of people don't know the difference. You go to an event, it's a business event, and some people just end up drinking too much, and it becomes more of a social event. You got to be focused. You got to stay focused. You got to know what your main objective is. So let's make sure that we are here to network. After you exchange cards with someone, you debrief them. Ask them those pre-qualifying questions that we spoke about. If the person you're speaking to is not the person, the decision maker that you need, that can help you go through the process of the sale, then ask them if there's a way that they can help you. Every now and then, they'll say yes. You see, you're still networking. You're meeting someone, and that person is helping you. Always remember, the dumbest question in the world is the one you don't ask. So start asking more questions. I promise. Remember, when in doubt, don't. I see this all the time. Have people call you unless it's in your best interest. See, what I mean is this. Don't just promise to everyone that you're going to call them. Because in a matter of time, you're going to go to other networkers, and they're going to say, oh, I know that person. They tell you they're going to call you, and they never do. So refrain yourself from doing that. When you know this is a lead or prospect that would be beneficial to you and your company, then you go to the next phase, which would be something like this. You're going to ask, when will be a good time for me to call you? Then you're going to tell them, would it be good in morning or afternoon? Don't assume that it's going to be a certain time, because what may be morning for you may not be for them. Once you have the exact time, the date, and the day, you make sure you call. Times have changed. You also got to keep that in mind. So ask for alternative ways of communicating. Do they rather communicate on Facebook? Do they rather communicate on text? Because if not, you'll be leaving messages on that phone, and some people don't pick up their voicemail. So you want to be clear. Clarity is power. See, that's one of the biggest mistakes people do in sales. They don't follow up. What I want you to do is I want you to follow up, follow up, follow up, and then follow through. Short and sweet. Time is money. And I want you to really think about this. Time is money. You're not here to do a presentation or a seminar. So go on, move on. A lot of people will go to these networking events and try to present all their services and products at once, when if you leave them just wanting more, you give them just what it is they need to know, and then set up a meeting. Because once you have that meeting date that you're going to go ahead and do your presentation, then and only then is showtime. See, while you're doing this, the most important prospect or lead that you can actually acquire at this event may be walking right by you, because you spent too much time with one person. So maybe they have not gone through this presentation and they don't know some of these tools that we're providing here today. Well, they can always call me. Honestly, the one thing that's really important is that you do know. So find a way to be able to disconnect when it becomes uncomfortable and you're tied up and wasting your time, because time is money. Use of time. Patience, it's a virtue. It takes time to get positive results. People want immediate gratification. It takes some time because it depends on a lot of variables. It depends on the product or the service that you're doing and you're promoting out there at your networking events. But for the most part, you'll have people that will see benefits within the first 2 or 3 weeks. For others, it may be 2 or 3 months. However, you can always give in, you can always give out, but don't ever give up. Never give up. Give it all you have. As you go to this event, learn a little bit more. What could you have said? How can you change? How can you alter certain things? See, there's no right way. The wrong way is not doing it at all. I guarantee you that if you put your heart and mind into networking, your business will expand exponentially. But you got to put your heart into it, like everything else in life. Keep in mind, 80% of success is psychology. 20% is mechanics. What that means is you got to take action. You know, when you get really tired, well, get up, do it again. The more you put in life, the more you're going to get out. One of the reasons successful people are so successful is because they're tenacious. They will not give up. They believe in what it is they're doing. They believe in their message. And I believe in you. And I believe that you have enough tools here today to take your networking game to the next level. But it all starts with you, and you must take action. I hope you enjoyed the 10 networking techniques as much as I enjoyed creating them for you and being a part of this presentation. I wanted to bring up one more topic, one more slide. This is called social media. And we have a whole training that we do on this, but we really won't have the time today. However, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this training. Networking doesn't stop when you leave. In today's world, we live in a fast food society where fast food is not fast enough. And people are getting connected through social media. There's so many businesses out there, and they really don't know what it is they're doing, and they're not consistent. They're not really relating their brand as strong as they could have. They're actually diluting their brand. You know, generate leads, not only online, but through social media. Connect with buyers. There's certain people that I'm able to connect with through social media that I have never picked up the phone and spoken to them because they don't have the time. So there's definitely ways to do business through social media. You also get instant feedback on your products or service, or even on this presentation. At the end of this presentation, you'll be able to give me feedback immediately on what it is I did, what you did like, and what you didn't like. See, that's the importance of social media. Also creating that strong brand awareness. See, we don't have to spend a ton of money like back in the old days in order to get your brand out there. There's some tools and tricks and techniques that you can do to get your brand out there and get it out there strong. So this is really important. What I've also provided for you is a download, a PDF download of the entire presentation, so you can keep it around like a little booklet. So if you look at this PowerPoint, something I recommend for everyone that's doing a PowerPoint or a presentation, top right corner, we have what's called a hashtag. The reason the hashtag is because the millennials, the new market that you're networking with, they will understand that to look you up with a hashtag. So it's really important to put your hashtag in every presentation that you do. On the bottom left, if you look at it, it says follow us on boldworld.net. Well, when you go to boldworld.net, all my contact information is there. Also, all the way on the bottom of that page, you will have that link for you to be able to download the PDF files and have your own little booklet. So whenever you need to network and you know what's the part you need to work on, it's in your pocket, and you can keep it with you until you master the art of networking. Ali, are you there?
Yes, Mr. Brett, I'm here. It's Bert Oliva.
Did I lose everyone?
No, sir. Let me just, folks, we are open for the question and answers. If you have any questions, you could either put it in the question box, or you can always raise your hand. There's a hand icon available on your webinar console. If you click on it, I should be able to unmute you and you can speak to Mr. Bert Oliva. So let me go straight to the question box. We already have some questions posted. The first question is from Brother Muhammad Al-Mahfoud. The question is, would a digital business card suffice, especially if technology supports it?
With digital business cards, that's the question?
Yes, sir.
Digital in the sense of walking up to someone and telling them, look, just, let's tap phones, or here's my digital information. Is that what you're asking?
Let me repeat because the question posted. The question is, would a digital business card suffice, means it's sufficient, especially if technology supports it?
Yeah, I don't recommend just one. I would think it's great as an added feature. It's a bonus. But I still recommend tangible items. People like to feel, touch, and especially for them to remember when they get back to the office, they want to be able to have a card that stands out when they get to know you. So I like to make custom cards and be a little original. However, yes, digital is a plus to add it, but not to be the main source, because people forget sometimes to even look at their text messages and voicemails. They're so overwhelmed with technology that some people are at a certain level and some people are not at the same level. So we expect them to look at it, but they really don't. So it's just a contingency plan. I would do both.
Okay, thank you very much. We have another one. Brand awareness and events. Do you think social media is the best primary driver of events you are hosting? Is it good? Is it a good hype tool to promote awareness, interest in an event?
Social media right now is in the beginning stages. As much as people think that it's been around for a long time, right now is when people that are pretty much Generation X are benefiting from it more than anyone, because the baby boomers are just enjoying the process, and the millennials are the new up-and-comers, and those are the guys that are really tied in with technology. So anything that you're doing, yes, is great to promote it through technology. However, people will do business with people first. You see, I want you to really look at that. People will do business with people first. So you want to make sure that you are the best representative of you that you can be, and then take it digital. Not create something digital, and then when they finally go to the event or go and meet you, it's not what they expected. You overdid. It's very easy to do something online and make it look bigger than what it is, and then people will be disappointed. So you rather, what do I tell people all the time? Under promise and over commit. Make sure you don't overcommit and under deliver. So you want to always deliver at your top. So digital, social media, we could do a whole presentation on that, and there's a lot of tools and techniques, and yes, it's powerful. However, this is all about you right now. Networking is really about you creating your persona and your personality for you and your business.
Thank you very much. How could we overcome the cultural barrier to connect with the people? This is from Brother Muhammad Abbas.
Can you ask the question again? I broke up.
Yes, the question is, how could we overcome the cultural barrier to connect the people? The cultural barrier.
Yeah, okay, different cultures, different barriers. Well, first of all, if I was to go to Dubai, or when I go to Dubai, I would do my due diligence, do my homework. So I make sure that I know their culture. I know how they want to be approached. It's not about them being able to connect with me is me being able to connect with that culture. So if you're going to do business with multicultural, make sure that you do your homework. Make sure that you know about them. In fact, try to know more about them more than what they know about themselves. And it's possible today because of the internet. See, the internet has the best tools in the world. However, people are not being educated on how to use these tools. And that's what's important. So when I come to Dubai and I finally meet you one-on-one, I will know your culture. I will know what to do and what not to do. So I know how to dress. I know how to connect. Because if I do something that's not appropriate to your culture, I just disconnected from you. I just now, you won't even listen. No matter how great I am, no matter how many lives I've changed, no matter how many seminars I've done, that's not important. So what's important is really to be able to connect with different cultures, especially if you're in a business that's global.
Thank you very much. How do I remember the people best I meet in an event?
There's different things. There's a thing called anchors and associations, and usually it's something that a person does, carries themselves, or wears. So a lot of times what happens is that you want to go ahead and build that recognition with a person. For example, if I was to meet someone and they have a great smile, I'll say, you know, Tom, your smile's awesome. You know, and every time I see you, you make me smile with your smile. So now you've associated that big smile with that person, and at the end of the time, you'll be able to always remember, oh, you're Tom, the one with the smile. So you might yourself, what I used to do many years ago, and I still do, but I've slowed down with it, is I went ahead and started wearing vests everywhere I would go. Instead of wearing a full three-piece suit, you know, being in South Florida for the most part, it was kind of hot. So I would wear a vest. And I had custom vests made for me. So you would always see the guy and they'll say, yeah, Bert's that guy, the guy with the vest. So you can create an anchor or an association so people can remember you. Where there is a lady can have a scarf, you know, maybe not around her, but around her purse. Something that people can relate and say, oh my God, that's something cool. I remember that. Oh yeah, this is the guy or this is the person that does such and such. So depending on how creative you are with your name tag or how creative you are with your hairstyle or something. I mean, it all depends to make sure that you're in the business and you make sure that see, in today's world, it's not so much about connecting in business, it's mastering your space. We're all about space right now. And once you become the master of your space and you become the top of mind in people's mindset, success is right around the corner. Because whenever they need someone that's a master in that space, they're going to remember you. So, you know, anchoring yourself, creating certain anchors and certain things that people can relate to and then bring up, or they can recognize you for that.
Okay. What are some of the best subject lines which we should use for follow-up emails, ensuring it doesn't land in their spam or junk boxes?
Well, we really don't have control where it lands, because depending on if it's going through an office setup or through your home, or it depends, a lot of times you will lose that. So I always tell people, check your junk mail, especially if you send out an important email and you want to make sure that it's getting through. But subject headlines are powerful when you involve them. For example, there was this gentleman that I wanted to get in touch with. It's a up-and-comer speaker, and you know, he's a multimillionaire, so to get in contact with him, it's a little difficult. So I approached him with, you know, are you, what was it I told him? I told him, are you open to being mentored? You know, or I think you need mentoring. So, of course, I affected the person's ego. When they opened the email, I said, well, now that I have your attention, I was able to actually respond back and forth. Now we're friends. We actually connected because of that email. So get creative. Think about something without insulting people, but think about questions that are open mind. You got open-ended questions are who, what, where, when, how, and why. If you open up your questions like that, then you get people to talk. So what you want is to make sure that your emails are open-ended, so it gets them to think. You get them to take action. And the action you want them to get is to be able to actually, you know, click through or, you know, be able to connect with you. So best recommendation I can tell you is open-end questions. Who, what, where, when, how, and why.
Thank you very much. How do I make sure that I meet the people in the event that I want to?
Oh, well, that's by doing your homework, which is being prepared. what is it that you're looking for? Are you looking for the graphic designer? Are you looking for the marketing person? For example, many years ago in my advertising agency, we would go out networking, and I knew that I needed to meet with a decision maker. And one of the things is that marketing is such a large area to try to control, because sales is marketing, product placement is marketing, graphic design is marketing. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for the marketing person in charge of the major corporations. So I already knew what I was targeting. A lot of times we don't connect with the right people because we really don't know what we're looking for. And if you're going into an event blindsided, that's what you're going to get out. Like everything in life, what you put in is what you get out. So what you want to make sure is that you know as much as you know exactly your target market, your demographic, and who it is you want to connect with. Because once you're done doing your networking, you're going to build relationships. You're going to have people in the same space that you're in and like the stuff that you do, and then you guys will go to different networkers. They'll invite you to different networkers. But what you really want to do is you want to make sure that you, what was it, the question again? I lost it. Well, I think I answered it. I'm sorry. I just kind of, my mind went in a different direction.
No, you did. Okay, thank you. Okay, we have one last question. What is your advice to young leaders that are not enough confident and not enough proactive in networking?
I love young leaders. Those are the millennials. Those are the future of our world. And the reason they're not really that confident for the most part is because they've grown up behind a computer. My thing is go out there. Go out there and start meeting people, connecting with people. The more you connect with people, the more comfortable you'll become. Like everything else in life. The first day you drove your car, you weren't the best at it. In fact, it took you several times. So if you go out there and you network, you might not do your best the first time, but you're one step ahead from your competition because you're already connecting. You're meeting people. There's certain things that you will not learn in a book, in a course, in a seminar. You have to take action. You have to actually apply it. Millennials are exciting people. They're energetic, and they're ready to take action. And that's why I love them so much, because now they're at the age that they're ready to take on over the world, and what better time than now? This is it. So go out there. You are special. You are amazing. You're more special than you ever thought you were, but you will never know unless you go out. So I really recommend start taking action on whatever it is that your dream is. Go out and do it.
Well, that really brings us towards the end of the webinar. I really want to thank you, Mr. Bert Oliva. Any concluding remarks that you would like to give before we dismiss out?
Two things. Number one, again, I'll tell you from the bottom of my heart, I really thank Mile and yourself and your team for me being able to be a part of your organization, because this is our second time around, and I've seen the growth. I've actually attended some of your webinars, and I've looked at some of the experts that you bring to the table, because that's what you guys really do, is you bring experts. And I like surrounding myself with top industries like yourselves. And that's like the foremost one message I want to leave you guys, but also the one thing that I really want to leave everyone with is really what I'm known for, is to help people to take action, to help people to live the quality of life that they deserve. The reason they're not living it is because they're not taking the right actions. They're in the wrong space. They're listening to the wrong people. If I was to listen to all the people that told me that this was impossible in my life 21 years ago, I wouldn't be doing the stuff that I'm doing. I live a wonderful life. And it's not to brag or try to impress anyone. It's to impress upon you that if I was able to do it being an immigrant in my own country, you can do it being the best person in your country. So it doesn't really matter anymore. I mean, I travel the world and I do seminars for children and letting them know that, look, it's not just about having the American dream. It's about having a dream, period. The American dream is not the place to be right now. Right now it's about having your dream and making your dream a reality. Whether it doesn't matter what age, it doesn't matter if you're starting, it doesn't matter if you're in between, it doesn't matter if you're rebranding yourself because you're in an older age, you're 50, 60 years old and you're like, I got to start all over again. There's no better time to start than now. We live in the best time in the world right now. You have access to the best technology, the best knowledge, and the best experts. We didn't have that 40 years ago, 20 years ago. So this is the time. Take advantage of it. Take action. Get involved. Life is a beautiful thing when you get involved and take action. And I tell people, and I want to leave you with this, is to live life and don't let life live you.
Very eloquent. Thank you very much, Mr. Bert Oliva, and we really appreciate your time that you have extended for the second time, indeed, as you mentioned, and we equally enjoyed it, and we'd love to sustain this relationship to do more webinars with you. Thank you very much. I really want to thank you on behalf of the Madinah Institute for Leadership and Entrepreneurship for your time and for giving this presentation. And thank you all of those who participated in this webinar. We are recording it. It will be uploaded on Mile Community, so please stay tuned to webinar.